How you doing, guys? Steve here again today. I wanted to make a video. I haven't been feeling too hot the last week. I have a sinus infection and an upper respiratory infection, which has just been kicking my ass. I've been in bed for most of the week and coughing up a lot of phlegm, but that's neither here nor there. I'm also on some, unfortunately, because of my mini heart attack, I'm on some new heart medications, blood pressure medications, cholesterol medication, and blood thinning medication, which is making me feel somewhat weak, dizzy, tired, nauseous. So it's been a fun ride. Needless to say, I wanted to get out a video and try and help out some people while I'm feeling like shit. So I'm gonna leave a link to the picture of this in the description. But when I had my serotonin checked recently, my doctor showed me what it said in the book for the codes, the medical codes, and the tests for serotonin and checking different levels. They have like a description of almost everything. But especially for serotonin, for people suffering with depression and anxiety, this can help. It said that patients should avoid eating foods high in indole, that's INDOLE, for 48 hours prior to specimen collection, so prior to your blood being drawn. So they said to avoid avocados, bananas, eggplants, pineapples, plums, tomatoes, and walnuts. Basically everything that's pretty good for you. So I tried doing some digging, and I couldn't find much on indole besides a slight a slight indication that it has a connection to tryptophan, which is a precursor to serotonin. So these foods seem to have a high amount of indole, which would produce more tryptophan, which in turn would help out your depression. And if you have low serotonin, you can also have anxiety because of low serotonin, not just depression, which some people might not know. So your serotonin can definitely increase your anxiety if it's low. So keep that in mind. But it also said patients should also avoid tobacco, aspirin, tea, cola, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, stuff like that, coffee for 3 days prior to specimen collection. So I haven't really done much digging into that. I know that tobacco, nicotine, stuff like that can trigger your dopamine receptor. I haven't really looked into aspirins and teas and colas and coffees. Sounds like everything with caffeine. I don't know how that will affect the result of your serotonin test. Excuse me, guys, sorry for my cold. But if you're bored and you're at home or sitting in bed and you want to get your brain working, maybe you can do some of your own research on indole. Now, I had a pretty interesting thing pop up on my phone. It was a notification from a website which I think I visited once, and I don't know why I got the notification, but sometimes things happen for a reason. And it was 64 possible treatments of depression. Now, there's a huge bumblebee in my car. There it goes. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description, because it is obviously way too long, and they go into depth into the 64 treatments, so it would take probably at least 15 minutes to read all of the treatments and what they can do for you. Just a quick summary of all of those. So I'm going to leave the link for you guys in the description, so you can do your own research to see if things you possibly may have tried, and things that might work for you and might not work for you. So I'm going to leave also one more link in the description. It's an interesting article on how aging can affect your tryptophan levels, your serotonin, your melatonin levels, and interrupt your sleep-wake cycle. So some of your depression, some of your anxiety, your mood disorders can be related to aging. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, guys, and I haven't really been feeling that hot, but I figured I want to reach out to you guys because there are still a lot of us suffering with depression and anxiety. So the more information I can share with you, the happier I am, and hopefully you can learn from this. So had a minor, besides all that, I've been doing pretty well. You know, I had a slight setback with my depression after I had my heart attack, which was a mini heart attack, which I was pretty much getting over. And then I was at the pharmacy last night picking up Z-Pak, or azithromycin, for anybody who doesn't know what the Z-Pak is. And the pharmacist gave me a lovely chart to remind me of all the medicines that I'm on, and when I should be taking them, and how I should be taking them. And I got home and I looked at the table where I keep my medicine. There's so many fucking bottles. That just made me so depressed. So I'm happy that I figured out what triggered the depression. It's still with me somewhat today. It's not as bad as yesterday, but just looking, sometimes in your life there can be minor things that you might not think that are causing you depression, or causing you a setback, or causing you to feel worse. But if that happens to be the case, just really look into your life, what happened that day or within the last couple hours, especially if you felt a drop in your mood, you know. So definitely keep an eye out on what's happening in your life, guys. Check out this indole stuff. I can't really find much on it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just know that it has some connection to tryptophan. Check out these 64 treatments of depression. There's a shit ton of information on this link. And if you're bored, just check out this interesting article on the aging and how your tryptophan levels and serotonin and melatonin levels will drop. Now, it says, I read it briefly, but something that caught my eye out of the article was that tryptophan is an essential amino acid. We need it for our diet, from our diet, and it can fight other essential amino acids to be transported up into our brain. So basically, tryptophan, you get it from proteins and maybe these things with high indole content, the avocados, bananas, eggplants, pineapples, plums, tomatoes, walnuts, etc., etc. You know, so maybe eat those first if you're gonna have a meal. Usually, I mean, I've been trying to eat my proteins first, and that's definitely helped me out, which proteins contain tryptophan. So it your digestive process, the proteins in there first, which gives it a better shot of reaching to your brain quicker. Other than that, that's my update for today, and hopefully this video will help you guys out. Please like, subscribe, share, comment if you have any questions. I'd like to have my voice heard by as many people as possible. I'd like to help out as many people as I can while I'm recovering from depression and anxiety, and while I go through my journey. I wish you all the best of luck recovering from your mood disorders. If you're suffering, please, please, please keep your heads up, keep fighting, and keep surviving, because life is 100% worth living. Even though some days it might seem like it's not, it definitely is. That's it for today, guys. Be well, and I'll see you in the next video.